Holy shit!
A few years back, a family took a trip to Jeffrey's Cliffs in Hawkville, Kentucky. It was supposed to be a peaceful day of hiking and snapping photos of the kids, but one picture revealed something far from ordinary. In the background, a blurry, shadowy figure loomed just behind the group. The unsettling part? According to the mom, no one else was anywhere near them when the photo was taken. Deep in a remote California forest, a lone explorer navigates the darkness with only a flashlight. As the beam cuts through the eerie silence, he suddenly stops. The camera captures his hushed, anxious whispers.
You think that was a coyote? What do you think that was? What was it? Do you see it where?
Whoa.
Holy crap!
What is that?
Holy... Shh.
In the distance, a strange figure moves. Towering and eerily human-like in its gait, its skin shimmers with a reptilian texture, covering its head, arms, and body. The dim light and grainy footage make it impossible to identify. A trick of the shadows? Someone in a suit? But if so, why would anyone be out here, in the middle of nowhere, dressed like that? While camping in the depths of Ottawa National Forest, a group of adventurers experienced a chilling encounter. Strange movements flickered through the shadows, and a mysterious figure lurked among the trees. At the time, they brushed it off as a passing animal, unable to make out its form in the darkness. But when they reviewed their footage later, their hearts pounded. What they captured on camera wasn't just an animal, it was something far more unsettling. One night, a man was driving down a pitch-black road when out of nowhere, chaos erupted. A gang of men wielding machetes burst onto the scene, charging straight at his car. Heart racing, he slammed the gear into reverse and tore backward into the darkness. The machete wielders gave chase, but after a terrifying few seconds, he managed to shake them off, barely escaping with his life. A man was enjoying a quiet run along a remote trail in eastern British Columbia when his peaceful jog took a terrifying turn out of nowhere.
Holy shit!
A massive grizzly bear burst onto the path. Without a second thought, the runner bolted, adrenaline kicking in as he sprinted for his life. For a few heart-pounding seconds, the bear gave chase. One wrong step, one slip, and it could have been the end. But luck and sheer endurance carried him to safety. While trekking through the desolate desert of southern New Mexico, a Reddit user came across something deeply disturbing. Half buried in the sand was a single woman's shoe, torn and shredded like it had been chewed by something not quite natural. There were no other belongings, no footprints, no tracks leading in or out, just that one mangled shoe sitting eerily alone in the middle of nowhere. It's almost impossible to believe someone simply lost it and didn't notice, especially out there, where isolation feels almost otherworldly. So now the question lingers like a whisper on the wind. What really happened to the woman who wore it? And more chillingly, Is she even still human? On May 18th, 2024, what started as a calm, tethered hot air balloon ride turned into a heart-stopping moment.
Don't as long as she doesn't let go.
That would be bad.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, her feet.
As the balloon began to rise, a woman suddenly latched onto the outside of the basket, completely unnoticed by the passengers and crew. Dangling high above the ground with nothing but her grip keeping her alive, she held on for dear life. Thankfully, she managed to cling to the basket until the balloon touched down again. But for a few terrifying minutes, everyone watching thought they were about to witness a tragedy. It was a shocking reminder. Even a safe adventure can go wrong in an instant. Before we jump into the next encounter, I just want to take a moment to thank and congratulate all of you. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. We are working harder than ever to bring you the scariest and most entertaining hiking encounters out there. Our goal? To take this channel to the top, and nothing's gonna stop us. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and enjoy the rest of the show. When we hit 10,000, a few lucky subscribers will get a surprise. Just make sure you're subscribed and have liked the video. Want a better chance to win? Drop a comment with your thoughts on the clips. Now let's dive back into the video. While camping deep in the woods, this man made a discovery that would haunt anyone. An eerie mask, half buried in the mud, staring up at him with a twisted, unsettling design. There were no clues to who it belonged to or why it was there, but the moment he laid eyes on it, he felt a chill run down his spine. Was it just a discarded costume piece, or a silent witness to something far more sinister? A climber recently posted a jaw-dropping video that delivers a powerful safety reminder.
Alrighty, boys. This is why you tie knots in the end of your rope, or else you might just wrap off the end. Yeah, baby! Yeah! This is nutty! Look at that view!
Alrighty boys, this is why you always tie a knot at the end of your rope, just seconds before slipping right off the end. No knot, no warning, and a sudden drop that'll make your stomach flip. The footage is a gripping wake-up call. No matter how experienced you are, skipping even one basic safety step, like tying a stopper knot, can turn a routine rappel into a life-threatening fall. Climbing isn't just about strength or skill. It's about respecting the process. Most climbing accidents happen during rappelling, and this is exactly why. One night, as someone wandered outside, they spotted something truly bizarre. A bicycle riding itself, not rolling downhill, not pushed by the wind. This thing was pedaling forward, on its own. No rider, no strings, no tricks, just a bike, moving like it had a mind of its own. So if no one was on it, what was? After a heated argument at home, Talia decided to escape into the woods for a peaceful glamping trip with her loyal Dalmatian. Everything seemed perfect until the clock struck 11 p.m. That's when she heard it.
Yeah, because what is that? Let's go inside. Let's go inside. It sounds super far away, but like... No, what is that? Yo, come on. Come on, yo. He came inside so fast. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but we...
At first, she thought her dog was acting up just to get her attention. But then, that sound. A blood-curdling scream tore through the forest, sending chills down her spine. Terrified, Talia and her dog rushed inside and stayed up the rest of the night, too scared to sleep. By morning, they packed up and left, vowing never to return. But the strange part? This wasn't the first haunting reported at that very site. This video was filmed deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a place shrouded in mystery and known for one eerie phenomenon, a faint whisper of the word "hey" that many claim to hear. For years, people brushed it off as a hoax or clever marketing, until Allie captured something chilling on camera. The view was amazing, worth the effort. But while recording nature for her Snapchat, something unexpected happened. A whisper, clear and unsettling, cut through the silence. Hey, was it just the wind? Or was something or someone watching from the trees? A couple who had been living peacefully off the grid started noticing something strange on their property one day. From a distance, it looked like a man wrapped in a blue tarp, but something about it was wrong. The way it moved was eerie, unnatural, almost inhuman. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. When they returned to the spot later, it was like nothing had ever been there. No footprints, no snapped branches, no sign of disturbance, just the eerie footage they managed to capture. So who or what was that? And how did it end up in such an isolated place? While out walking their dog near a nuclear power plant, a Reddit user stumbled upon some bizarre, unidentifiable objects, and naturally, they shared the strange discovery online. To their surprise, other users chimed in with their own photos of the same mysterious items from the same area. The weirdest part? No one knows what they are or where they came from. In Brazil, a group of men were digging, likely prepping the land for farming, when something bizarre happened.
Mexe aqui, ó. Ó, quanto mais mexe, mais o fogo. Tem condição disso, cara? Você viu no meio do nada aqui, ó. No alto, ó. Ó. O fogo aí, mexe de novo, fez aqui na brincadeira, nossa. Aqui, ó, aqui na frente aqui. Ó. Lógico que não tem desse, cara. Ó. Mexe mais aqui no meio aqui, quer ver? Na frente lá.
As they dug deeper, actual flames began erupting from the ground. Not steam, not smoke, real fire. And it didn't stop, it grew stronger the more they dug. Some believe it was a pocket of natural gas, like methane, finally escaping and igniting from the pressure or a spark. But not everyone buys that explanation. In spiritual circles, there are whispers that it could be something far more mysterious, perhaps a sacred site disturbed or cursed ground awakened by mistake. Whatever the truth is, fire bursting from the earth isn't just strange, it feels like a warning. On October 3rd, 2019, a group of hunters were deep in the forests of Ontario when an unexpected sound stopped them in their tracks.
Oh my God.
Out of the silence came a bone-chilling scream, deep, guttural, and filled with what sounded like raw agony. Oh my God. The hunters froze, eyes darting through the trees, straining to see what creature could make such a noise. But whatever it was, stayed hidden. The haunting wail echoed through the forest for minutes, unrelenting, eerie, and unlike anything they'd ever heard. Some claim it had to be an animal, but no one could agree on what kind. To this day, no one knows what was out there or what cried out in the dark that night. On July 16, 2006, two brothers set out for a hike in the dense forests of Tofino, leaving their family behind at a nearby campground. Aware of the area's reputation for wildlife encounters, they brought along a video camera just in case. As they ventured deeper into the woods, a large, dark figure suddenly appeared in the distance.
Maybe? Oh, God. Wait, come here, come here. Come here. Look at that. This is, he ran backwards, right? Over there somewhere. See, that could be a possible footprint. I don't know. Could be. Look! Wait, stay back!
For several tense seconds, they watched. Then, as one brother stepped forward for a closer look, the other yanked him back. Alarmed, they retreated about 50 meters. After waiting in silence, curiosity got the better of them, and they cautiously returned to the spot. Standing in the shadow of a towering tree, they tried to make sense of what they had seen. The creature, an estimated 7 feet tall, slightly hunched, had locked eyes with them before vanishing into the wilderness. What did they see that day? A misidentified animal or something more? Over the years, strange sightings have been reported around Chernobyl, the site of one of the world's worst nuclear disasters and now a haunting radioactive wasteland. Recently, a chilling video surfaced online, allegedly filmed in the area. In it, a bizarre creature crawls across the ground with a jerky, unnatural movement. Its body is patchy with matted brown fur, but large areas appear hairless and raw, like something's seriously wrong. Some viewers believe it's just a starving wolf or a mangy stray dog, but others think it might be something far more disturbing, something twisted by radiation, a mutation that nature never intended. What do you think it is? TikToker Carter Booth and his friend thought they were alone on their camping trip until they reviewed their footage. Hidden among the rocks, two mysterious figures were silently watching them. The eerie discovery left them deeply unsettled, shattering their sense of safety in the wild. In 2011, two campers were soaking in the beauty of Colorado's wilderness on what seemed like a perfect sunny day. But their peaceful trek took a terrifying turn when loud, unexplained banging sounds suddenly echoed around them. They froze, scanning the landscape for the source, but no matter where they looked, there was nothing. As if the mysterious noises weren't unsettling enough, just moments later, a massive earthquake rocked Colorado. It left everyone wondering, were those eerie sounds a chilling warning of what was about to come? A hunter in Pennsylvania set up a trail camera deep in the woods behind his van, hoping to catch footage of the local wildlife. But when he reviewed the footage later, he was horrified by what he saw. Instead of deer or raccoons, a lone figure dressed in a clown costume emerged from the darkness in the dead of night. Thankfully, the hunter wasn't harmed, but the chilling encounter nearly scared him out of his wits. TikToker Joe Fells, known for surprising his wife with adventurous trips, planned a remote camping getaway, but things took a terrifying turn.
Lodge Explorer.
Huh? What? What?
What is that?
What the fuck?
That was not there last night.
Nah, that shit wasn't there last night. We pulled up here. I come over here and set up this solar thing last night.
In the middle of the night, they discovered a rock placed next to their van, scrawled with the chilling message, "I will kill again." Shaken, they called the Forest Service, but got passed to the sheriff's office. Even the police seemed unsure how to handle it. While seeking help, they ran into a strange local who ominously hinted that nobody does anything out here without my approval, and he wasn't happy someone freelanced. Despite their fear, Felds and his wife returned to grab the rock, only to find another camper at their old spot. They warned him, and luckily, he was armed and unbothered. Before leaving, they thoroughly checked their van for hidden trackers, just in case they were being watched. What started as a simple trip turned into a real-life horror story. Sam recently shared jaw-dropping footage of a gorilla troop wandering into a human camp. With their heart pounding, a wildlife photographer managed to capture every intricate detail from the gorilla's curious expressions to their fascinating interactions. It's 1:40 in the morning and two friends are cruising down a deserted road. The darkness around them so thick the trees lining the sides are barely visible. Suddenly, something stirs in the shadows. Curious and a little uneasy, they pull over and aim their headlights into the woods.
I love cruising through here. Going through the canyon. Yo, what the fuck?
Hey, I see
Thought I saw some shit. Nah, are you kidding me? Nah, nigga. Should I check it out? Nah.
Fucking make a ride, homie. Let's just see
Wait,
what's
what
up.
the
I
fuck?
see something over there.
Thought I saw something too. Let's see if I can get it on camera. Whoa, what the fuck? Yo, can you see that shit too?
That's a witch, nigga. That's it. We think.
Hey, what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck is that shit, nigga? Get the fuck out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of here, nigga. I'm not trying to get possessed.
At first, there's nothing, just silence and empty trees. But then, a figure slowly steps out from the dry brush, cloaked in black, hunched over, and clutching what looks like a walking stick. It creeps forward. One of the friends nervously jokes it might be a witch. Whether it's a twisted prank or something far stranger, one thing's clear. There's no good reason anyone should be wandering out here, alone, in the dead of night. Two friends shove a massive boulder off a cliff, expecting it to plunge straight down. Meanwhile, their third friend waits below, camera in hand, ready to capture the moment. But things take a terrifying turn.
Come on, you pussies! Oh shit! Oh! Oh! Holy shit!
Instead of falling straight, the boulder veers straight toward him. He has no time to move. Somehow, against all odds, he survives, but it's pure, heart-stopping luck. In May 2014, Malcolm Fox was enjoying a camping trip in Somerset West, South Africa, when he decided to hop on his bike for a casual ride. But what was supposed to be a peaceful outing quickly turned into a nightmare. After taking a wrong turn, Fox suddenly found himself face to face with danger.
That's all I got on me. I promise.
Footage from his GoPro captured the chilling moment. A man approached him aggressively, demanding that he hand over everything he had, but the robbers weren't finished. One thief made off with his bike while another frisked him at knife point, searching for anything else of value. What the attackers didn't realize, however, was that the entire encounter was being recorded. They never noticed the small GoPro on Fox's helmet. Thanks to the clear video evidence, authorities were able to track down and arrest the suspects, and remarkably, all of Fox's belongings were returned to him. A man walks alone down a deserted path, the trees closing in around him. Suddenly, he freezes, or someone is standing in the distance. Without warning, a blood-curdling scream rips through the air. Some viewers claim the scream sounds fake, but that doesn't explain the chilling presence of the white figure lurking ahead. A Reddit user recently shared a chilling photo taken during a camping trip in the forest, claiming to have captured the elusive Mothman. The eerie image shows a dark, shadowy figure silhouetted against a bright sky, sparking heated debates among users. Some argue it's just an optical illusion or a case of pareidolia, while others are convinced it could be the real deal, a rare sighting of the mythical creature. While camping in Turkey, a group of friends stumbled upon something chilling. From the top of a distant hill, an eerie figure emerged, casting a haunting silhouette against the landscape.
Ahmet sakın şu an her yerde çıkabilir, her an çıkabilir. Bu Allah sanda. Nerede? Tamam gördüm bir dakika bak. Gördüm. Boynuzlara bak. Tamam işte. Ahmet bu boynuzlu şaş yapar bu Ahmet. Boynuzlu şaş yapar bak. Burayı koruyan boynuzlu şaş yapar, bu çok güçlü. Çok güçlü Ahmet, sakın panik yapma bak. Başına büyük bir sıkıntı gelebilir, sakın panik yapma bak. Görüyor musun? Şu an bize bakıyor. Ve şimdi bu neydi öyle? Çıktı bu ortaya. Bu tılsımla çıktı ortaya. Ama çok güçlü Ahmet. Var mı başka yerde?
As the video captures the unsettling sight, viewers can't help but wonder, is this a demonic entity lurking in the shadows, or could it simply be an animal? The mystery continues to send shivers down the spine. Jake Chairs recently turned to the internet for help unraveling a mystery. During a family camping trip, a relative snapped a photo of Jake walking up a hill, but when they looked closer, they noticed something chilling. Right beside him were two transparent figures trailing closely behind. Jake insists no one else was around, and at the time, nothing felt out of the ordinary. So, what exactly did the camera capture? While a family was enjoying a stay at their cabin in California, their trail camera captured something chilling. As the homeowner rummaged through the trunk of his car, a ghostly figure emerged from the woods behind him. The figure, eerily human-like, crept closer, crouched low behind the car, and then vanished without a trace. Unaware of the haunting presence just feet away, the homeowner carried on as if nothing had happened. It wasn't until he reviewed the footage later that night that the true horror sank in and it left him shaken. A group of friends was enjoying a camping trip when they decided to take a swim in the ocean. At first, everything seemed perfectly normal, just another refreshing dip. But suddenly, panic broke out on the shore. His friends started frantically shouting for him to get out fast. They had spotted something he hadn't. Confused and scared, he swam harder, desperate to reach safety. That's when he saw it. A massive shark gliding through the water just feet away from him. Miraculously, he made it out unharmed, but it was a swim he would never forget. Lucky Beautiful Tafuntone 83 recently shared a chilling experience from a haunted house tour at Plasteg in North Wales. While exploring the Eerie estate with her cousin and father, she kept her phone at the ready, hoping to capture any supernatural activity. Suddenly, through her camera lens, she spotted a pale figure lurking behind a tree, causing her to freeze in terror. But when she looked up with her own eyes, the figure had vanished without a trace. She also noted that the road outside the mansion has a dark reputation, often linked to strange hauntings and a string of car accidents, fueled by the legend of the Grey Lady. Although Plasteg is now closed to the public, she admits she's still eager and a little nervous to return to the haunted grounds. A Reddit user, curious but skeptical, decided to camp overnight at the infamous Skinwalker Ranch, a hotspot for paranormal activity. Even during the day, they couldn't shake an eerie feeling that clung to the air. But as night fell, the tension thickened. Suddenly, they heard branches snapping just outside their tent. Grabbing their phone to use as a flashlight, they caught a glimpse of something unsettling lurking at the edge of the darkness. The chilling sounds and shadowy figure were enough to send them packing in a panic. Did they come face to face with something not of this world? While on a camping trip, Reddit user Devour Hearts shared a photo that left their family stunned. Their parents had been driving along gravel roads, frequently stopping to snap shots of anything that caught their eye. One photo revealed something chilling: a white silhouette of a woman standing near a barn. At first glance, it looked like an overexposed figure captured by accident. But according to the Redditor, no one was there when the photo was. Olive for Life recently took a solo trip to the infamous Hampstead House in Connecticut, and what they captured has left the internet buzzing. In the photo, a faint, eerie figure can be seen, sparking debate. Is it a genuine ghost sighting or just a clever camera trick? Given Hampstead House's long-standing reputation for ghost stories, the image feels all the more chilling. Some viewers are convinced it's real proof of the supernatural, while skeptics argue it's just an illusion. As for Olive, they believe they may have photographed the spirit of a young colonial girl still lingering within the historic home. While hiking on Vashon Island, this man stumbled upon something truly bizarre. A tree that had grown around an abandoned bicycle. Over the years, the tree slowly swallowed the bike, lifting it high off the ground as it expanded. Imagine how incredible it would have been to watch a time-lapse of nature's slow but unstoppable takeover. While hiking near an old cemetery in Indonesia, a man decided to set up a trail camera, hoping to catch some wildlife. But when he later reviewed the footage, he found something he couldn't explain. In the dead of night, a strange figure dressed in white emerged, gliding eerily through the darkness. Without warning, it paused, then shot straight up into the sky, disappearing in an instant. Some swear it was a ghost, while others dismiss it as an elaborate hoax. Yet to this day, no one has been able to explain what happened that night. This chilling photo was taken inside an abandoned house in Lakeland, Florida, by a team of paranormal investigators. As soon as they reviewed the image, they fled the scene. Why? Take a look at the window. A ghostly floating head appears to be staring out. Locals have long believed the house is haunted. Years ago, a young girl is said to have taken her own life there, and many claim her restless spirit still lingers within its walls. While camping near Irgby, deep in the Sahara close to the Algeria-Morocco border, a traveler snapped a chilling photo of a mysterious white figure standing alone in the distance. When the image was shown to locals, their reaction shifted from curiosity to concern. They claimed it resembled a spirit and urgently warned the traveler not to wander outside after dark. So what was caught on camera that night? A supernatural presence, or just a trick of the light and motion blur? While using the Randonautica app, Chris and his friends ventured deep into the woods, but they never expected what they were about to find.
So the other day, me and a bunch of friends decided to go explore a park that was located nearby all of our houses. And in the creepy back area, we found a lot of coffins. And we got curious and opened one, and there were spikes inside. And it reminded me of one of those medieval Iron Maidens. And then we found this table nearby. It looked like one of those tables that you like tie people to and torture them. So, mad sketch. Maybe if you blow this up.
Hidden in a remote clearing was something straight out of a nightmare, a field full of coffins. Curiosity got the better of Chris, and when he opened one, things got even stranger. Nearby, a table stood eerily in the open, surrounded by ropes scattered across the ground, clear signs that someone or something had been there not long before. So, what exactly did they uncover that day? Deep in the woods, a man was jolted awake by strange noises echoing from his roof. Grabbing his camera, he stepped outside to investigate.
What the fuck is that? Ain't shit up there. Ain't shit up there.
As he hit record, he scanned the area and said, "Ain't nothing up there. So what the hell is it then?" But before he could make sense of it, something suddenly reappeared, sending chills down his spine.
What the fuck? Where you going? The fuck is that? Alright. Hey, I'm black. I'm gonna get the fuck up out of there.
So what exactly was lurking on his roof that night? And why did it vanish, then return? A TikTok user was suddenly jolted awake in the dead of night by the unmistakable sound of galloping hooves right outside his window. Half asleep and thinking it might just be a horse, he peeked outside only to find nothing there. But the sound didn't stop. The thunderous galloping echoed through the street, clear as day, yet not a single horse or person was in sight. Grabbing his phone, he hit record, capturing the eerie audio of something invisible racing past his home. Late one night, a security camera captured something eerie through a window of a remote home deep in the woods. It appeared for just 3 seconds, then vanished without a trace. The footage quickly spread, sparking wild theories. Some viewers swore it looked like a skinwalker. Others chalked it up to a creepy prank. But the homeowner isn't buying that, not in a place this isolated. She's shaken and still searching for answers. A Reddit user named jturley85 recently shared a chilling video that has left viewers baffled. According to his post, the footage came from one of his wife's co-workers, who had gone hunting in the mountains over the weekend. They brought along a pack of dogs, but during the trip, 2 of them mysteriously vanished. After hours of searching, the dogs were eventually found, but they'd been torn apart. While trying to piece together what happened, the group spotted something strange through a scope and managed to capture it on video. The figure appeared tall, with disturbingly long, thin arms, and a body covered in what looked like hair. Even more unsettling was how it moved, unnatural, almost inhuman. Some viewers speculated it could have been a hunter in camouflage, but that explanation doesn't quite add up. Who or what could tear dogs apart like that? No one has the answer, and that's what makes this so disturbing. A Reddit user once posted an ordinary photo of a quiet forest floor, just some dry leaves and twigs. Nothing special at first glance, but take a closer look and you'll spot something chilling. A copperhead snake, expertly camouflaged and nearly invisible among the debris. One careless step and that peaceful hike could have turned into a nightmare. 2 teenage boys were out filming, just messing around with a new camera, having fun. Everything seemed perfectly normal until they spotted something off. In the distance stood a man, motionless, staring directly at them. He didn't move, didn't speak, just watched. Creeped out, they laughed it off and kept filming.
Au! Isuse Bože.
Ček, to je li to ono opet?
To je ono lik koji piše. Kaj je? Kaj je?
Dobar, daj.
Kaj lik? Kaj je vrak?
Nemam pojma, daj ga šutni, ja ne znaš. Daj ga šutni.
Neću se. Mislim da je pijan, nešto.
Okej, mislim da idemo... Ajmo mi odavde, ajmo.
Fuck, Isuse Bože, ti mu vidio.
But a few moments later, the same man appeared again, closer this time. That's when they ran.
Kaj, jel to on, Isuse Bože? Snimaj ga, sad ga snimaj, sad nemoj pobjeći. Kaj radi, Isuse Bože? Kaj radi?
Ne znam. Ej, jel si ti u redu, onak?
Oprostite, jel vam treba pomoć?
Ej.
Koji vrag, onak?
Idemo do Mati, ne, naš
Da sam
nas.
pijan. Okej, znači, Matija, Studeni.
Koji kat?
5. kat.
They bolted into an apartment building, jumped into the elevator, thinking they were safe. But as the doors opened, he was already inside. Then the footage cuts. The rumor? The boys were never seen again. Neither was the man. To this day, no one knows what happened. Some say it was staged. Others swear it felt too real to fake. Either way, it's deeply unsettling. While capturing photos of an old school being demolished, a woman noticed something chilling in one of her shots. As she reviewed the images later, one in particular made her freeze. In the dimly lit hallway just left of center stood a shadowy figure, partially obscured by darkness. The eerie part? That section of the building had already been cleared, and no workers were anywhere near it. So, who or what was standing there? Could it have been the spirit of a former teacher or principal, unwilling to leave the place they once called home? In 2020, a Reddit user casually snapped a selfie in their living room. At the time, only their sister and dad were supposed to be home, no one else. But when they looked closer at the photo, something chilling stood out. In the background, a figure was visible. It wasn't their sister. It wasn't their dad. Strange things had always happened in that house, but this felt different. The figure looked too real. It even cast a shadow. That one detail changed everything. Was it a ghost accidentally caught on camera? Or had someone been inside the house the whole time, completely unnoticed? Reddit user Individual Insect 722 got a Ring camera alert early one morning. Thinking it might be a curious animal, they checked the footage, only to see something chilling. person dressed completely in white silently wandered around their property. They had just moved to a remote area with no neighbors, no foot traffic, and a house that sits alone atop a fenced hill surrounded by dense forest. They'd felt a little uneasy living there before, but this was different. Who was this stranger, and how did they even get in? Deep in the Appalachian mountains, one explorer had an encounter he'll never forget. Inside a cave, everything felt eerily still. No echoing drips, no scuttling critters, just total silence. At the time, it seemed peaceful, until he reviewed his GoPro footage later. That's when things got chilling.
Leaves. The mud just broke off as I left.
In the video, as he leaves the cave and the mud gives way beneath his feet, a distant, blood-curdling scream pierces the quiet. He hadn't heard a thing in person, but the camera did. Loud, clear, and terrifying. Reddit lit up with theories. Some claimed it was just a mountain lion, a wild hog, maybe even a fox. But others? They said it sounded way too human. So the question remains, what was screaming from the shadows? For 2 nights straight, a family kept hearing blood-curdling screams echoing from deep within the forest. At first, they tried to shrug it off, until the screams moved onto their roof. That's when things got real. Suddenly, something or someone started moving around the other side of the house. Whispers started flying.
They're all over the damn place again tonight. Okay, I'm gonna keep walking towards it. Might actually get to capture something here. Son of a bitch. All right, whatever you are, you need to leave. Stay out of this place. This is our home.
Was it a skinwalker, a wild animal, maybe even a mountain lion? But then it got even stranger. On the far side of the house, they discovered an animal skeleton completely intact. No blood, no visible wounds. Just there. Since then, no new updates. And the silence? It's somehow louder than the screams. Deep in the isolated stretches of the Appalachian Mountains, a woman living alone on a vast, fenced-in farm captured something chilling on video. With no neighbors for miles and no reason for anyone to be on her property, she was shocked to see 2 young girls wandering near her home late at night. She claims she doesn't recognize them, and given how remote her location is, their presence makes no sense. Some viewers believe these weren't ordinary girls at all. Instead, they suspect something far more sinister. Skinwalkers, shape-shifting entities known in legend for mimicking human forms to lure victims out. Even the woman admits she can't rule it out. He was just walking his dog through the woods when something strange caught his attention. Half hidden in the underbrush, a small device buzzed with eerie static. At first it seemed like random noise, but soon a pattern emerged. A voice, faint yet deliberate, speaking in what a friend later confirmed was Mandarin. The entire encounter felt unsettling, almost like it wasn't meant to be found. To this day, no one knows what the device was or who put it there. During a scream therapy session deep in the woods, a girl let out a loud, gut-wrenching shriek. Suddenly, a man burst into the frame, clearly caught off guard and mid-squat, doing his business. The timing was impeccable, and his panic, priceless. While clearing out an abandoned homeless encampment deep in the woods, Reddit user HollyWhizzle311 stumbled upon something truly unsettling. Amid the debris, discarded trash, and shattered belongings stood a worn wooden cross. But what really sent chills down their spine was what was attached to it. What looked eerily like a real piece of human vertebrae. No note, no explanation, no one in sight. Whatever happened here, it left behind more questions than answers, and a lingering sense of dread. A woman living deep in the Appalachian Mountains was home alone when she captured this eerie footage and posted it to TikTok. Out here in the Appalachians, the rules are simple and deadly serious. If you hear something, you didn't. If someone calls your name from the woods, don't answer. If you hear tapping on the window at night, don't look. Never whistle after dark. Stay on the trail. Always. And if something looks human, but something feels off, it's not human. Most importantly, don't talk about it too much. Some things don't like being noticed. So if you ever plan on visiting Appalachia, remember these rules. They just might save your life. In July 2008, a young boy was filming in the Rocky Mountains when he captured something strange hovering in the sky. What he filmed was no ordinary sight. A dark ring floated silently above the mountains, completely still, then slowly drifted away. There were no planes nearby, no wildfires, nothing that could explain a perfect smoke ring just hanging in the air like that. When the footage spread online, people were baffled. Theories exploded. Was it a portal? A wormhole? Something not from here? To this day, no one can say what the boy saw, and some still wonder, was it real, or was it all just a clever edit? While venturing deep into the woods, a hiker climbed onto the roof of an abandoned building to capture the breathtaking view. But as they scanned the landscape, something strange caught their eye. A tall, thin, gray figure weaving through the trees. Heart-pounding, they zoomed in, only to realize it resembled neither a human nor any animal they had ever seen. A chill ran down their spine, an unshakable sense of dread settling in. For the rest of the day, the eerie encounter haunted their thoughts, leaving them questioning what they had just witnessed. A man who lives near the Appalachian Mountains often hikes the trails alone, and has never experienced anything out of the ordinary until one chilling trip changed that. While exploring the woods like he always does, he suddenly heard a scream unlike anything he'd ever encountered. It could have been wildlife, but something about it felt off, unnatural even. Was this his first real brush with the unsettling mysteries of the Appalachian wilderness? This guy spotted something weird moving in the ocean, a long dark shape silently gliding just below the surface, At first, he figured it was just a piece of driftwood, until it started to rise. That's when he saw it. A smooth, snake-like body, moving with eerie precision. Some viewers brushed it off as floating debris, but the way it swayed through the water, it looked alive. The footage might be grainy and far off, but one thing's clear: something big was creeping just offshore. A group of friends had rented a remote cabin deep in the Appalachian Mountains for a peaceful weekend getaway. Surrounded by endless, shadowy woods, the spot felt like a perfect escape. One night, as they soaked in the hot tub beneath a glowing moon, a low, thunderous sound echoed from somewhere deep in the forest.
Yeah, that was a car, that was a car. What's the aliens, bro? I think it's a train.
Es que porque suena así a la verga.
But that shit's scary. Okay, do you guys want to go inside?
No. Es que dicen que no va a pasar nada, pero...
But the music and laughter quickly faded into nervous silence. Something about that sound wasn't right. Unbeknownst to them, the Appalachian woods have a long, chilling history. Mysterious vanishings, strange figures spotted between the trees, stories that locals don't like to tell after dark. Thankfully, the group left the hot tub and returned inside without incident. But that night, it still haunts their memories. While hiking a remote stretch of the Appalachian Trail in North Carolina, a lone hiker reached the summit expecting sweeping views, but stumbled upon something far more chilling. Hidden among the trees, they discovered an old, forgotten graveyard. Weathered headstones jutted from the earth, with no signs, no fences, and no trace of it on any map. The hiker searched for answers but found nothing. No names, no history, no explanation. The eerie silence and cold mountain air clung to them, leaving behind a mystery and a memory they'd never shake. Lewis, Clark, and their friends thought exploring an old, abandoned train hidden deep within the forest would be fun. Most of the train cars were empty, silent, and eerie, but nothing too unusual. That is, until they reached the caboose. Inside, the air felt heavier. The sheets covering the benches were stained with dark red spots. Something large, something unnaturally heavy, was hidden beneath one of them.
The carriage will come, let's go. What is that? What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Just go, just get the fuck out of it.
Yeah, we need to get out.
Fucking go, go.
That shit. Come on.
Fuck! Ugh. There's mud everywhere, Ant. Wait, is that a body? We need to call the police, mate. We need to... Oh my god, this has happened before, bro. This has happened before. Ow, I hit my fucking head. Fuck! Ow!
Mate. I'm fucking wrong,
No one dared to lift the sheet. They bolted, even leaping over another blood-stained cover on their way out, hearts pounding. To this day, no one knows what was under those sheets. Some say it was a body, others think it was something even worse. But one thing's certain, Lewis and his friends never went back, and they never will. Less than half a mile into a 2021 section hike on the Appalachian Trail, this hiker suddenly heard something strange, eerie sounds echoing through the trees. Every hair on their body stood up. The trail was completely empty, yet the noise grew louder, closer, like something huge was creeping just out of sight in the woods. Turns out, it was just cows. So no, not everything in the wilderness is something sinister, but still, stay alert. You never know what's waiting just off the path. Sydney, a solo traveler, returned to one of the very first campsites she'd ever visited, tucked deep within the Appalachian wilderness. When she arrived, the forest was eerily silent, not a soul in sight. She pitched her tent and started cooking a simple meal, rice and chicken sizzling over the fire. That's when she heard it.
Is that?
A strange, unplaceable sound echoed through the trees. It didn't quite feel natural. Still, Sydney brushed it off and stayed the night. Luckily, nothing happened, or so she thought. To this day, the clip remains a complete mystery. In 2011, a family vacationing in Tennessee's Smoky Mountains captured something eerie on camera.
What's he doing?
While filming the scenic view, the man behind the camera noticed a sudden movement in the background. A moment later, it appeared again, this time partially hidden behind thick bushes. The family was convinced they had just seen Bigfoot, and given how steep and unforgiving the terrain is, especially around Klingman's Dome, it would be nearly impossible for someone to stage a hoax in a costume. Strangest of all, sightings like this aren't exactly uncommon in these mountains. While walking along a quiet trail, a Reddit user stumbled upon something truly disturbing. Pinned to a tree was a severed tongue. Some believed it was real, possibly belonging to a cow or deer, while others speculated it could be part of a sinister ritual or even a chilling warning. But who would do such a thing, and why? What could be the real story behind this eerie discovery? While camping deep in the woods, a family snapped what they thought was a sweet photo of their 3 children playing in a tree. At first glance, everything looked perfectly normal, just a joyful moment frozen in time. But when they looked closer, later that evening, their hearts sank. Standing just behind their youngest son was a 4th child, the eerie part. The family swears no one else was around. They were miles from anyone, in a secluded part of the forest. So, who or what was in that photo? Could it have been a ghost? One night off the coast of Scapello, Sicily, something eerie was captured on camera. A glowing figure drifted through the dark waters at first, and it looked like a diver with a headlamp. But as it came closer, the illusion fell apart. Its shape was all wrong. Long, serpent-like, a visible spine running down its back, and the way it moved? Not human, not even close. Was it just a trick of the light? A diver caught at a strange angle? Or did this fisherman stumble upon something far more mysterious lurking beneath the surface? It was around 2 a.m. during a peaceful late-night fishing trip when this person, sitting alone by a still, quiet lake, decided to snap a quick photo just to capture the moment. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The night was calm, silent, exactly what you'd expect at that hour. But when they checked the photo later, there it was, a dark, shadowy figure standing in the distance. They swear no one else was there. So the question is who, or what, was lurking by the lake that night. As he drove down an old abandoned road toward his campsite, A chill ran down his spine. Up ahead, something eerie caught his eye. A shadowy figure in a flowing white dress crossing the road. His heart pounded as he slammed the brakes. Who or what was that? Curiosity got the best of him. Stepping out of his car into the pitch-black night, he scanned the surroundings. But there was nothing. Just silence and darkness. If it were a person, why were they wandering alone in the middle of the forest at this hour? And if it wasn't, then what had he just seen? While trekking through the woods, a group of adventurers stumbled upon an abandoned GoPro, its owner nowhere in sight. Intrigued, they played back the footage only to be shaken by what they uncovered. The final moments showed a group of unknown explorers, their expressions shifting from excitement to pure terror. In the background, a shadowy, unnerving figure loomed, watching them. Then, without warning, the footage cut to black. Despite efforts to identify the people in the video, their identities remain a mystery. Were they just lost tourists? Or does this eerie recording capture the final moments of a group that was never meant to be found? A Reddit user recently shared a photo from a peaceful trip to a forest in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where they were trying to capture a playful shot of a tree. However, upon zooming in, something strange caught their eye. A mysterious gray figure appeared to be standing at the edge of a fence. Some commenters speculated that the figure resembled a woman in Victorian-era clothing, possibly a nurse or housemaid. Given the area's rich Civil War history, could this be the spirit of a Civil War nurse still lingering in the woods? The eerie discovery has sparked some fascinating theories. It was a quiet evening as the YouTuber settled in for a solo camping trip deep in the forest. As night crept in, he curled up in his tent, ready to get some rest. But then, something stirred him awake. Torn between fear and curiosity, he gathered the courage to step outside and investigate.
It went away though. I feel like I kind of want to go out and check, but I'm kind of scared too. I think we're gonna go out and check. I might just walk around and look at the area. Look at this, guys. I can't even see a thing on camera. It's so dark. Let me see if my phone flashlight's better. I think it's a little better. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely better. I'm just gonna use my phone flashlight.
But when he looked around, everything seemed normal, until he spotted something strange. Just as he started to feel calm again, snuggling back into his sleeping bag, a sudden noise shattered the silence.
Wait. Guys, what is this? There's some sort of marking on the tree. It's kind of creepy. I wonder what that's for. Alright, well, now that I know that there's nothing out there, I'm gonna try to go back to bed. Hello?
If you listen closely, you could hear the unmistakable sound of footsteps, this time circling his tent. Terrified and confused, unable to figure out what was out there, he made a snap decision. In the middle of the night, with fear and adrenaline coursing through him, he packed up and bolted, abandoning his campsite without a second thought. While hiking a remote high-altitude trail, a group of adventurers got more than they bargained for. Their detector suddenly picked up a strange signal coming from beneath the snow. Curious, they started digging only to uncover what looked like the body of a bizarre, unknown creature.
I got a very strong signal. What? What? What the heck is that thing? Oh my God.
Some are convinced it might be a Yeti. But is it a genuine discovery or an elaborate hoax? And if it is staged, how on earth would someone pull off something this convincing in the middle of nowhere? A group of hikers found themselves deep within the snowy wilderness of Finland. The only sounds were the crunch of boots on frozen ground and the whisper of wind through the trees until everything changed.
Mistä vitusta toi tulee?
Out of nowhere, a strange metallic hum pierced the silence, not from the forest itself, but from the sky above. It was cold, mechanical, and unlike anything they'd ever heard. The hikers stood frozen, staring upward as the unsettling sound echoed through the treetops for nearly 10 minutes. They caught it all on camera, but to this day, no expert has been able to explain what it was. No animals, no machinery, no natural cause, just a haunting hum in the Finnish wilderness, and a mystery that still has no answer. Two friends decided to explore an abandoned train station in East Belgium one night, hoping for a bit of thrill and adventure. As they arrived, a strange atmosphere hung in the air, unnaturally quiet, yet filled with distant, unsettling sounds. There were faint thuds, the screeching of metal, and an eerie mechanical humming that seemed to come from somewhere behind the old, rusting trains.
What the fuck, ouwe? Wat is... Ik zit kanker in.
Drawn toward the noise, the two stumbled upon a massive, dark warehouse standing silently behind the tracks. The sound seemed to be coming from inside. As they moved closer to investigate, the unsettling noises only grew louder and more complex, as if something or someone was at work in the shadows. Then, out of nowhere, flashlights flickered on in the distance. Several figures appeared on the tracks, moving slowly and deliberately, scanning the area with intent.
Gasten, lopen er mensen in de trein? Ze hebben helemaal op. What the fuck gebeurt daar? Er lopen gewoon mensen in die trein en we horen kanker en je muziek. Zullen we dichterbij? Gasten, ik wil kijken, ouwe. Ik moet weten wat er is. Ik moet het weten.
Niemand gaat er gaan voor de vooruit.
The friends froze, realizing these people weren't just passing by. They were searching. Spooked, the pair retreated, hiding in the dark and watching as the mysterious figures in overalls moved methodically through the station. Despite their fear, curiosity got the better of them. They waited until the coast seemed clear, then went back in for one final look. The sounds were even stranger now, less random, more rhythmic, almost like a hidden pattern or signal.
What the fuck? Filmen.
Suddenly, the flashlights returned, this time closer than before. In a panic, the friends sprinted back to their car and fled the area. Still unsettled and eager to understand what they had witnessed, the two approached some women living nearby. When they asked about the noises and the men, the women did not explain, just a warning. It's dangerous near those tracks at night. Months later, the friends couldn't let it go. They returned to the site, hoping to find answers. The sounds were still there, just as mechanical, just as haunting. The men in overalls were still patrolling the tracks and the warehouse, almost like guardians of a forgotten secret. Then, without warning, a scream shattered the silence. Loud, human, terrified.
Die geluiden goed kunnen horen. Ik zie mensen lopen in de trein. Trein. Ze hoor je schreeuwen. Mensen schreeuwen. Ik hoor ook mensen schreeuwen hoor. Gast! Yo! What the fuck? Ik weet niet of je het hoorde. Maar ik hoorde net een man schreeuwen. Okay, dit.
Panicked once again, they ran. But this time, they couldn't shake the feeling that they weren't just hearing things. They were being watched. Desperate to find out what was going on, they eventually spoke to a hotel receptionist in the nearby town.
Ik heb een hele rare vraag gezien. We waren nog bij de laatste prijs toen en er staan gewoon rare mensen in blauw op pad. Dus weet je ook mensen aan het weg zijn daar? Ja?
Nee, ik weet dat er een scheepje was voor acteurs, misschien dat het daar nog was.
Dus een scheepje, oké. Ja, oké, dankjewel. Hoe dan daar geluiden en zo?
Ja, dat is van die scheepje.
The conversation finally revealed pieces of the mystery, but whether the full truth was ever uncovered, or if they even wanted to know it, remains unclear. This person stumbled upon something truly chilling during a visit to the notorious Gilson Cemetery in Nashua, a place steeped in ghost stories and eerie folklore. In a TikTok video that's quickly gaining attention, Amy performs a 360-degree scan of the graveyard, only to reveal a mysterious, shadowy figure lurking in the background.
Do me a favor, go to Google Maps right now from wherever you are. Put in Gilson Cemetery, Nashua, New Hampshire. It is a historical site rumored to be haunted, blah, blah. Go on Street View, take a 360, and take a little stroll down the road. Just look. There's a ghost right there.
While some skeptics are quick to dismiss it as just a blurry passerby, Amy is convinced there's more to it, something not entirely of this world. Gilson Cemetery has long been haunted by tales of a ghostly woman in white, the haunting cries of a lost baby, and now, maybe, a new spirit caught on camera. Back in 2022, a TikToker named Kelly was venturing through the wild swamps of Florida's Everglades when she caught something strange on camera. It was a long, snake-like creature she'd never seen before. So bizarre, she wondered if she'd just discovered an entirely new species. Any guesses what it might have been? While driving alone through the desolate backroads of West Texas, a man spotted something that made his blood run cold. Far ahead, motionless in the middle of an abandoned lease road, stood a mysterious figure cloaked in a long, white gown. There was something off about it, something deeply unnatural. As he crept closer, heart pounding, the figure suddenly vanished into thin air. No sound, no trace, no explanation. It wasn't a statue. It wasn't a person. So what was it? A train was gliding through the peaceful Australian countryside. Everything seemed perfectly normal. But then, something strange happened. Out of nowhere, a white shape appeared by the tracks. At first, it looked like a swirl of mist, but then it began to take shape. It drifted silently across the tracks and vanished, just like that. The eerie part? The person filming didn't even notice it at the time. It was only later, when viewers started commenting, that they realized they might have caught something chilling on camera. A ghost. It was supposed to be just a fun camping trip, a group of friends hiking deep into the forest, and they decided to take some photos to remember it all. One of them, an experienced backpacker, decided to take a group photo before they packed up and left. At first glance, everything seemed normal. But when they looked back at the image later, something didn't sit right. There was a figure, faint, almost hidden, lurking in the tree. No one remembers seeing anyone else out there. No footsteps, no voices, just the quiet of the woods. So who, or what, was watching them from the shadows? A few hours ago, this person was just at home, heading into the bathroom. Nothing unusual until they opened the window. That's when they heard it.
Was zur Hölle?
A strange, distant noise echoing from the forest. It sounded like a massive crowd, like a stadium full of people shouting all at once. But here's the creepy part. They live in a tiny village in the middle of nowhere, Austria. No stadiums nearby, no events, just forest, mountains, and silence. Even weirder, they've always felt uneasy in those woods, like something's watching, like they're not supposed to be there. So what was it? Who or what was out there making that noise where no one should be? A group of fishermen off the coast of Baez couldn't believe their eyes. In the middle of the vast ocean, drifting alone on a tiny patch of floating debris, sat a man, calm, quiet, and completely unbothered. No waving for help. No signs of fear, just an eerie, almost surreal stillness, like he was meditating in the face of death. No one knows how he got there, no shipwreck, no distress call, just him, serene and silent, like he belonged to the sea. Rescuers arrived just in time to pull him to safety. But long after he was gone, one question remained. Who was the chilled man? This person was driving down a quiet road in Kentucky when suddenly a deer darted right in front of him. He had to swerve hard just to avoid hitting it. But then he notices something strange. The deer isn't running off like you'd expect. Instead, it's standing completely still, almost frozen. Curiosity gets the better of me, so he decided to pull over and head back for a closer look. That's when things get weird. Right next to the deer was a pale, almost glowing white figure. At first, he thinks his eyes must be playing tricks on him, but the more he stares, the clearer it becomes. It's like something out of a ghost story, standing silently beside the animal, unmoving. So, here's the question. Who or what was that shadowy presence? Was it just his imagination, or something far more chilling lurking in the Kentucky woods? This eerie image first made waves on Reddit back in 2020, accompanied by a bone-chilling caption. And honestly, at first glance, it's hard to argue. According to the post, the hunter had been making his way through a dim, misty forest when he noticed something strange, tall, motionless, and shaped like a human. It stood silently at the tree line, almost camouflaged against the forest floor. The hunter was convinced he wasn't alone. Something or someone was watching him. To him, it could only be a cryptid. But then, the internet did what it does best. Curious users began to analyze the image, zooming in and comparing details. And slowly, the truth began to emerge. It wasn't a creature at all. It was moss. More specifically, a type of moss or bark growth known as polyore, which can sometimes form oddly symmetrical, almost human-like shapes, especially in cold, damp forests like this one. So, what looked like a forest monster? It turned out to be nothing more than nature's twisted sense of humor, tricking our minds into seeing something that was never really there. A video shared by Reddit user Rick Musk comes from Dion, India, a place where locals often report hearing eerie cries and chilling screams near the railway tracks after dark, long after everyone else has gone home. Many believe these haunting sounds are the restless spirit of a woman who tragically lost her life in a train accident right at that very spot. Travelers passing through say they're gripped by an unshakable coldness, as if an unseen presence is silently watching them. The sounds don't match any known animal, so could there be some truth behind this ghostly tale? This person was flying over the Amazon in a creaky helicopter, scouting for wildlife shots. Below, the river twisted through dense jungle like a silver snake, until he realized one of the snakes wasn't the river. There it was, a massive serpent, over 30 feet long, gliding just under the surface. Its head broke the water, dark eyes, thick scales, moving slowly and sure like it ruled the jungle. He snapped photos, heart racing. From the sky, it was incredible, but he knew if he'd been hiking below, that thing could have swallowed him whole. Nature had made its point, again. Back in August 2005, a group of amateur ghost hunters ventured into an abandoned house deep in the woods. While filming their exploration, something chilling suddenly appeared on camera. A mysterious figure that sent them fleeing in terror. Keep in mind, video editing wasn't nearly as advanced or widespread back then, which adds a layer of authenticity to the footage. But was it a ghost? Or just someone lurking in the shadows? The mystery remains. While hiking deep in the remote woods of Finland, this man stopped to snap a photo of the breathtaking landscape. But when he looked at the picture later, he was stunned. In the background, something or someone was there. He insists the area was empty when he took the shot. So what did he capture? Was someone silently watching him? Or did he unknowingly photograph something paranormal? If you liked that video, make sure to check out the Dare to Watch YouTube channel, where we have tons of videos just like this. And if you want to see our latest scary hiking encounters, make sure to click subscribe so you'll get notifications.